Greetings everyone, this is Music as a Journey. I'm Peter Scove. Yes, I'm recording this video with my iPhone. The camera battery died. That's right, it gives me a chance to do a take two on this where I'm going to hopefully make this video a little bit shorter. Today's video is expressing gratitude. 5 places, people and places I want to direct gratitude to. So, without rambling on for too long, let's get started. My first expression of gratitude goes to Nick over in Wales and the channel During the Meanwhilest, which is mostly a channel about photography. Now, a little while back I ordered an album, well here it is. I ordered this here. This is the Northern Pikes' second full-length album, Secrets of the Alibi, back from I think it's 1988. This was a Northern Pikes album I didn't have that I really wanted to have, and I decided it was time for me to get it. So I ordered it from someone off Discogs, a new copy for a fairly reasonable price, even with the terrible exchange rate. And it took a long time, and the darn thing didn't show up. And finally the seller said, okay, it's lost in the mail. I'll give you your refund. So I got the refund for it, which was great, but I didn't get the CD. And I talked about this in a video, and Nick watched the video and he said, I can get a hold of it for you in the UK, let me buy it for you. Now Nick has offered to buy me stuff a couple of times before, and it's really great, but I don't, as much as I would, it's very nice to receive gifts, I'm a person who always feels that I want to give it back as well. So I was a little bit hesitant, but I did want the album and Nick was offering, so I accepted it and I got it. And I thank you very much, Nick, for that. I do enjoy the album. I am bit of a Northern Pikes fans. I think I have most of the albums now, or certainly more than half. So I'm really glad to be able to get a hold of this one and add it to the collection. So that is great, thanks to you. However, Nick didn't just stop there. Nick wanted me to hear this English band called Thunder, their debut album, Backstreet Symphony, and I think this is their third album, which is called Behind Closed Doors. Kind of a weird yellow CD case here. The actual artwork inside has this more lovely bluer color to it, which I really like. So this band is, to make it simple, it's probably like your late 80s melodic hard rock. We would have called it heavy metal at the time, probably in the likes of things like Helix and Tesla and I don't know, I listened to a lot of music like this back then, and I'm really hard-pressed to find exactly who they sound like. But, some groovy rockin' riffs, some heavy riffs, some bluesy riffs, couple of slower songs on here, bit of acoustic guitar in places. The vocalist has got a great voice, that little bit of raspiness and the powerful vocals, and at times I find he also reminds me a little bit of Ronnie James Dio, actually. So if you're into that late 80s and early 90s, melodic, hard rock, almost heavy metal type thing, you might want to check out Thunder. I'm really glad for both of these two albums. I like them both very much. I think I like this one just a little bit more. Both albums are slightly disadvantaged because they came in at a time when I was getting some other stuff that I was really excited about hearing, so they didn't get as much ear time as they would have had those other albums not shown up. But I'm keeping them on my phone for now, and I'm visiting them on and off along with all the other stuff. So a huge thank you to Nick, and then I am going to announce here that Nick at During the Meanwhilest has also created a new channel about music, and it is called Careful with That Axe, Eugene. I will put the link in the description. So far, he has done an introductory video, but he has also created a playlist which includes all the videos he did about music on his other channel. So you can at least take a look and get an idea about what he's up to. He's going to make some videos on different topics as well. He's going to join in some of the vinyl community threads, so that'll be great. Welcome, Nick, to the vinyl community then. Awesome. Okay, next I want to express a big thank you to Alex at Beer and Vinyl. So Alex recently had a contest where we were to show 5 songs or albums and talk about how each of them related to someone we love. And I really liked this contest because I watched several other people's videos, and some people really opened up. Like, there were some pretty sad, heart-wrenching stories in there. People, songs or albums that reminded them of lost loved ones or estranged loved ones. You know what it is, like, okay, so this is the internet where it's a pretty vicious jungle in a lot of cases, and you can get your head ripped off for saying the wrong thing. But within the vinyl community, it seems that this is a growing group. And I say this being a person who doesn't have much vinyl and certainly doesn't buy it or collect it, but somehow I'm in it. So anyway, there is this group. There's a lot of these people. They are supporting each other's channels. They are joining each other's contests and threads, giving love, and it's even like giving each other stuff, like buying each other stuff. And I think it's really wonderful. But you know, the community has built up a certain level of trust and friendship among the members when people are going to open up with such deep stories. And there were a couple of videos where the presenters had to pause for a moment because they were getting a little choked up, or there was a bit of a wet eye. And I'm a bit of an empath that way, in that I feel something. And, you know, at times I was like, oh, wow, man. Wow, like, I just want to say, like, thanks so much for opening up like that. So it was a wonderful contest. I got to know some of the members of the vinyl community a little bit more personally. And then Alex had his spinning wheel to choose which of the 36 entrants in the contest would be the winner. And it was me. Music is a Journey won the contest. Wow. So Alex gave me a gift certificate thing for Amazon.com, which was just perfect because I have recently been trying to buy things through Amazon.com because some of the things I'm looking for are just not available in Japan. They're just not. It's not even like they're on the marketplace for a huge price. They're just not. So I found them available on Amazon.com for very reasonable prices. Also, Amazon's shipping prices is half of what everyone else's is. So that's really wonderful. The only problem is that the exchange rate from yen to dollars right now absolutely sucks. Like, it has never been this low as, I don't know, since what, the 1960s? Is just atrocious. So it used to be like 10 years ago, I'd say like, what do you guys got in the US over there? You got that? Yeah, I'll order it. Yeah, I'll order that too. And now I'm like, oh, that's a good price. Yeah, shipping's a bit high, but what does it all come to in yen? Oh, geez, that's this weekend's grocery shopping. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm not ordering. So I've been very cautious and careful about what I'm ordering. It has to be something that I really want to get, and the total must be, you know, under a certain amount. And they're just albums that I couldn't pick up. So with this from Alex at Beer and Vinyl, I was able to get 3 more that I wanted to add to my collection. One of them in particular was very important because I actually did order it 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was waiting to hear when it was coming, and then I got notice that the order was canceled. No reason given why. Out of stock or not available, whatever. I don't know. No reason given. Just, and but I really wanted that one. So thanks to Alex, I have ordered it again. All right, so big thank you to Alex there. And yes, of course, I'm going to do some snooping for you in the local secondhand store that has a nice vinyl section. See if I can find something to return the favor. Okay, next I want to say thank you to some of the people in the vinyl community I've gotten to know this year for turning me on to some interesting music. First, Brian at Embryonic Robot. He happened to mention that a band called Rheostatics are probably even more Canadian than the Tragically Hip. And I thought, you know, I've actually never listened to the Rheostatics. So I checked them out. They are an interesting band, very quirky, a lot of kind of weird stuff, some kind of funny stuff. But overall, there was still enough in there that I thought they're pretty cool. So I got Introducing Happiness and Whale Music, both albums from the early 90s. And can't say everything is something I, you know, want to blast out the car window with the, you know, in the car with the window rolled down because it's a bit weird. But definitely a lot of cool songs on here. And we may be looking at 1 or 2 more Rheostatics albums. The problem is that, once again, they're not easy to get a hold of in Japan. And even a couple of them that I checked out on Amazon.com were a little bit pricey. So, and one other thing Brian mentioned is a band called the Biznard Lakes. I'd never heard of them either, but they are a post-rock, shoegaze, indie rock type band. And I thought I'd give them a listen and found that, yeah, I might like them. So I ordered this album. The Biznard Lakes Are the Roaring Night. I like it. It's cool. And one of the interesting things was that the day that I ordered it, a couple of hours later, I watched a Ben Rankin's video where he's talking about Canadian music because he was on his way to Canada. In fact, he's in Canada now at the time of this recording. And one of the bands he mentioned was the Biznard Lakes, and I think he held up this album. And I thought, well, that's cool because I just ordered it. So thank you so much to Brian at Embryonic Robot for the rheostatics and Bisnard Lakes, and Ben, thank you too. Then I want to say thanks to Steve at S&T Young. He's always doing these great videos about death metal, thrash metal, black metal, traditional metal, and just other, metal related stuff. And I always think, man, I really want to get some of these albums he talks about, but I just, don't have the time or to fit it into my listening schedule, or it's just not what I really want to hear at the moment, or just don't have the money. And so he had this one band called Sepsism, and I thought, okay, that's it. I'm ordering this one. And I went to Amazon and found it was like in the marketplace for 22,000 yen, which is 10 times the amount of a normal CD price. Yeah. So I thought, wow, what is this thing? What is this rare thing? So Sepsism was a band that lasted about 20 years from early 90s until the late 2000s. They only ever released 3 albums. This was their first. It's called Purulent Decomposition. And I found it on Amazon.com for a very reasonable price, and I had a credit. I'll tell you about that in a moment, but I had a credit, so I ordered this. And I really like it. Yeah, it's your old school death metal, a lot of pummeling, one-dimensional vocals, but some really cool riffs in here, some great breakdowns, some really groovy riffs, and some really crushing breakdown riffs. Also some places where it's just a bass break, just the bass guitar is playing the riff, and one place it's the bass guitar and the drums only, and I like that kind of stuff. So I've listened to this a couple of times now since I got it, and I'm glad I got it. So thanks to Steve at S&T Young. Hey man, I finally picked up one of the albums you talked about that I didn't have. Okay. All right, and I also want to say thanks to Rob at Northern Revolutions, because I was looking for hearing somebody talk about Blue Rodeo. I have 2 or 3 albums. I was thinking to get more, and I just wanted to know, somebody give me your opinions about the band. And so Rob had a video talking about Blue Rodeo because it's one of his favorite bands. So I was able to kind of clear up my direction, which way I wanted to go. So I picked up their 3rd album, Casino, which I think is great. The 4th album, Lost Together, which I think is great. And then the 6th album, Nowhere to Hear. And I really am enjoying this one as well. In fact, it might just be my favorite or a second favorite Blue Rodeo song now is this one here, Girl in Green, the 2nd track on this album. Man, I love that song. I think I've probably played it 6 or 7 times now, whereas the rest of the album probably only twice. So thanks to Rob for that. And also Rob and I had a bit of a discussion about why don't we put together a kind of video thing where a bunch of us Canadians talk about Canadian music. So Rob organized that whole thing, got it going. We had everything set up, who was going to show up, and then I got the time zones wrong and ended up showing up late because I thought I was signing in early just to make sure I was ready, and found the whole thing was already in progress halfway through. But I want to put a link to that as well. I'm going to put a link to also Embryonic Robot's channel, S&T Young's channel, and the link to that video where 3 Canadians are talking about Canadian music, and then partway through a 4th one shows up because he got the time zones wrong. Hopefully we're going to do that again, but it's all up to Rob because he's the one who has to do all the organizing and editing. But I do look forward to another Canadian music discussion there. Okay. Next, the 4th area of gratitude, I want to say thanks to all the people who commented on my Black Sabbath video the other day. I thought it could be a bit of a tender topic. Maybe some people might get a little bit edgy and offensive about it. But even though there were some different opinions about whether Black Sabbath are or are not heavy metal, and whether Deep Purple are or are not heavy metal, nobody got on each other's toes about it. Nobody got nasty about it. Everybody was able to express their opinions very maturely and added some great thought to the conversation. So I just want to say thanks to all those people. Some of them have never commented on my videos before, so I was very glad to see strangers showing up and just being very mature and intelligent and great folks all in all about that. So thank you to that. And finally, I want to say thank you to Amazon.com. You see, I ordered this album, Goodbye to Flatland by 5440. I thought I ordered a new album, but when I got it, there's this peeling sticker on here. It wasn't in any shrink wrap. It's just got the CD case, and it looked a bit like a used album. So I wanted to find out, was it used or not? I couldn't find out. So I had to contact the, contact us thing, and got in with the bot. What order is it you're having problems with? It's this one. What seems to be the problem? Here's a list of options. None of those. Tell us more about the problem then. Okay, the problem is that I thought I ordered a new CD, and I got a used one, and I'm trying to confirm whether I ordered a new one or not. Okay, thank you. What order is it you're having problems with? This one, the one I said at the beginning. So yeah, then I finally got to speak to somebody, anyway, chat with somebody, a human being, and he was like, oh no, that's really terrible. Okay, so would you like, do you want to return the product for a refund, or do you want to get a credit, or what do you want to do? And I said, well, I'd like to keep it because it is fine. It's just I thought I was ordering a new one and I got a used one. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to credit your account for whatever the amount was. I think it was for the CD, but not the shipping. Great. So I had a credit on my account. It was handled very quickly once I got in touch with a human being. And yeah, that allowed me then to buy a couple of more albums, which is, I think I said I did. So anyway, thanks to Amazon.com for that. Okay, so that is my video of gratitude. All you folks I mentioned, everybody, thank you so much. All right, and then perhaps in a couple of days, I will get around to another video. So thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye, everyone.